This is a war. Sometimes I wonder, do people really know and understand that this is a war? Then I wonder, how is it possible for anybody to not understand that this is a war? You're going through this much stuff in your life, and you don't know that this is a war? You're going through this much stuff in your body, and you don't understand that this is a war? You're going through this much stuff in your mind, and you don't understand that this is a war. Not only is this a war, but it's a war for your soul. And it's a war that ends with your death. It's a fight to the death. Now, when you hear anything about war and people who have been a part of a war, you don't hear nothing about people being out there playing games when tanks are firing and fighter jets are dropping bombs and missiles are flying and guns are shooting. You don't hear nothing about people out there jumping rope and doing double dutch with all that going on, because you don't play games during war. You don't hear nothing about people diving into a swimming pool and having fun with all of that going on, because you don't go out there playing games during war. But some kind of way, the church has been convinced that they're all right. Go ahead on and play church. Go ahead on and play games. Go ahead on and amen the pastor, but don't put what he's saying into action. Go ahead on and give money in the offering, but don't believe that blessings come behind it. Go ahead on and make prayers and say prayers and speak prayers, but don't worry about believing that what you're praying is going to come to pass. This is a war. You're going to get your tail lit up because you're out here playing games during war. The enemy ain't playing with you. The enemy ain't playing with none of us. This is an all-out war, and you better act like it. This is an all-out war, and you better fight like it. This is an all-out war, and you better pray like it. This is an all-out war, and you better pay attention to the man of God like you know it's a war. You better take heed to the word and obey it like you know this is a war. But you see, Satan has a system. Satan also has a design. And his design has been planted into our hearts and minds to make us think life should look this way. So if our life is not lined up with what Satan's system says it should look like, we got a problem with it, and we spend our time, our energy, put forth our effort just to try to make our lives look a certain way. But at the same time that Satan got you chasing that kind of life, he wearing your tail out during this war. At the same time that he has you distracted trying to do that, he is tearing your end up over here in this war. Going after the big houses while you're losing the war. Why you can't get the big house and win the war? Going after the nicest car, but you're losing the war. Why you can't have the nicest car and still win the war? going after all of this material stuff, but your mind is so far off of the fight until you're losing the war with a smile on your face. And we have been so brainwashed, we have been so manipulated, so deceived, until we are actually a part of this war, whether we know it or not, but we haven't even learned how to fight. People done told us how to fight, but we didn't learn it. People done tried to teach us how to fight, but we didn't learn it. Pastor done tried to teach you how to fight, you're not listening. He done gave you game plans on how to fight, but you're not paying attention. We're in an all-out war. And your mind is on everything except the fight. I'm going to tell you in a short amount of time how to fight and how to win. Listen to me. Pay attention. The way you fight and the way you fight to win is by simply doing the word. Simple. Do the word. No matter what happens in your life, do the word. No matter what you have to go through, do the word. No matter what you see, do the word. No matter what you hear, do the word. That's how you fight, and that's how you win. Now the problem comes in when it seems like the battle needs more than just the word. The problem comes in when the fight appears to need more than just the simplicity of the word. But even that is a trick of the enemy. The word makes us victorious over every aspect of the fight. If you can just simply do the word, you will be victorious in every aspect of this war. With that being said, you have to know the word. No matter what happens, stick to what the word says. That's how you win. And when you know that word, and you do that word, and you stand on that word, and you think word, you speak word, there is no way you will ever be able to lose. There is no possible way you will ever be able to lose. If you take a look at my life, everybody who knows me knows this to be true. I lived a defeated life for a long time. But when I decided to pay attention to my pastor, when I decided to pay attention to the word that I was hearing, when I decided to apply the word to my life, when I decided to treat this war like it was a war, when I decided to stop playing games and apply this truth to my life, I ain't done nothing but win. Every aspect of my life, I ain't done nothing but win. And I'm talking about for the last almost 8 years now. My life looks totally different than it did before. Now I'm victorious. Now I'm a winner. Now I ain't scared of you. Now I'm not scared of demons. Now I'm not afraid of Satan. Now I'm not afraid of what they're doing out here on this earth. I win. And I win because I know how to fight. I win because I know and I understand this is a war.